Hey, what's up? On our plate for this week, we finally have an idea for the price of Xbox's Asus ROG Ally X. There's another Xbox in there somewhere in that long title. Sony sheds some light on their ideas for the PS6. And Nintendo announces their Donkey Kong Bonanza Direct. All this and more on this episode of Press X Start Gamers Digest. Oh, you know what? You would think with the technology I would nail the whole intro thing, but still, it's a mess.
Mhm.
All right. What's up, everyone? I'm your host, CJ, aka Sexy Bad Choices, aka at some point in time, we got these cool little stream deck thingies. I'm gonna
Yeah.
figure this out at some point in time. I am joined by
Sean MF Ross,
what does the M and F stand for?
Stream Deck owner, but I don't know what I'm doing.
you know, uh Shireen is doing something upstairs right now. It kind of sounds like she's tap dancing. She doesn't tap
Mm,
dance. She doesn't have tap dancing shoes. So I'm not exactly
that you
sure
know
what's
of.
going on up there that I know of exactly.
Might
She
have a
gets Amy
secret
Lowers
life.
all the time. So you're right. Yeah. Secret Life of Zach and Cody. If you know, you know.
Mm.
I just aged myself. Anyways, this is Press X to Start Gamers Digest, a video game news show that condenses the most important gaming news from this past week into an hour-long meal just for you. We are live on YouTube every week when we can make it because life is hard.
But listening to Press X to start is easy.
Yes, it is. All you have to do is just watch the video. It's right in front of you. Don't forget, while you're watching the video, like the video, subscribe to the channel in case you haven't. Normally, I would do the YouTube thing where like you post a picture of like only 20% of our audience is subscribed to the videos that they're watching, and that's actually true. So you're probably not subscribed to this video or not subscribed to this channel. So just subscribe to the channel. It's pretty easy. All you just use your finger. You can do it. Do it. All right. I said all that, but if you're listening to this and you're just like, there's no subscribe button. There is actually a subscribe button. You can subscribe through your podcast services. After you do that, leave us a review because those reviews pretty helpful, and we appreciate it.
Yeah.
Once you do all that, you can join our Discord by joining at pressx2start.com/discord. That will take you to where you need to be. And it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. We've been talking about the Xbox Asus ROG Ally Xbox Ally, I don't know, whatever. That thing,
Series
console.
Asus.
Yeah, right.
Series A.
There you go. I think. Anyways, let us jump into the gaming news with number one. Asus ROG Xbox Ally X release date and price may have been leaked. This comes to us from Insider Gaming by way of, I think this is a Mike Straw joint, and that it is. All right. So it's been about a week since Xbox unveiled, right? Why does
Yep.
that sound so weird to me? Anyways, yes, the Asus ROG Xbox Ally and the Xbox Ally X to the world, and now a known leaker is claiming to have information on the handheld console's release date and price. According to Xtas, someone like
Let me see what
pronounced
you're
it.
messing up.
There's a one in there that throws everything off because it's like, do you sound out the
That's all
one
right.
or do you
Xstasis, I guess. Yeah.
yeah, right? Sure.
Mm-hmm.
That person, that leaker, the Asus ROG, Jesus, the Xbox Ally and the Xbox Ally X will launch sometime in October. Pre-orders, he claimed, will begin in August. As excuse me, as far as the device's price goes, Xtasis says that the Xbox Ally X will retail for 899 euros, not dollars, euros. We're going to do the calculations in a second. While the lower powered Xbox Ally will cost 599 euros. He says that he confirmed the price with 2 European retailers. For United States pricing, that information he couldn't get concrete info about that. So
What you
let's
say?
talk about those
899
prices.
euros.
Yeah. So roughly the translation,
Ooh,
it
$1,038.
there you go. Yes.
But they're
So
not,
yeah, so that's the thing, right? So it's going to be roughly between like 1,000 for the Xbox Ally X, and then
Yeah.
about like 650, like 700, I think, for the Xbox Ally.
Yeah.
These prices are crazy talk, especially when Xbox has had this marketing campaign that everything is an Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
So if everything is an Xbox, why am I spending $1,000 for this thing when this thing is also my Xbox? Um, on top of that, to be competitive in this market, they can't release at literally the highest costing handheld on the market, right? So I just quickly went and I grabbed the prices of the other handhelds on the market.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't include PlayStation's Portal in this because it's $200 and it's just a
It's
streaming
not
thing.
comparable. It's a different
Yeah,
use
exactly.
case.
So the normal ROG Ally, that is $650. These are all US prices, by the way. The Ally X is $800. So if this rumor holds true, the Xbox version of this is $200 more than the normal Ally X. Mind you, from what I believe, you
Mm-hmm.
can still put Xbox Game Pass PC on the Ally X. The only difference between the Ally X and the Xbox Ally X is the chipset, whereas it is using this new, I think this new AMD chipset that's supposed to be really powerful. But then we have to worry about the battery power. But that's a separate conversation. The Lenovo Go Legion, no, the Lenovo Legion Go is $700.
Good God.
Also expensive. And then we have the Steam Deck. So we have the 256 gigabyte version, which is $400. The 512 gigabyte version, which is also OLED, that's $550. And then the 1 terabyte OLED is $650. So out of this, the Steam Deck was the first one of these two released, not including the Switch as like the starter for all this. But the Steam Deck is technically the oldest, but the 1 terabyte OLEDs, it's actually a really good handheld. But yeah, this is the pricing that the Xbox. I really hate having to say the whole time. The Xbox Ally X has to fall in between. It can't be the highest price thing because it will not sell. It just will not sell.
I think you have your loyalists that will buy it, but I mean, it just won't sell in large numbers.
That's what I'm saying. Like as it is right now, because Xbox has their marketing is just so like all over the place that
Yeah.
now having to convince people to buy a piece of hardware, it's like, why would I do that when you've been telling me not to worry about buying hardware? So I don't know. I think what's going to happen is whatever these prices are, it's possible that those prices will stick in Europe, but when it comes to the US, Microsoft will just eat the cost to keep it competitive to get it to sell because that US is their primary audience, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that would be my guess as to what I think would happen with all this. And in terms of pricing, I would imagine that it would probably, I mean, because do they just tack on like another extra $50 on the normal ROG Ally X to make it 850? Do they just round up
Why
to
not?
900? But 900 is just, that's crazy. It's a crazy number. I don't know. Or do they come under that?
I mean, gaming is an expensive hobby, and it seems like People spend whatever amount of money right now just to have the thing.
I mean, on top of that, like people have bought the Switch too,
Hmm.
and that has done gangbusters at 450/500,
I
depending on
think
if you
this
have
is
the
their
phone.
largest launch in
Yeah,
forever.
yes, we'll talk about that around Donkey Kong. But yeah, so it's like people technically already have a handheld that they just bought, and at that point, if it does release in October, they've been playing Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bonanza.
I don't see a huge cross sectionality between people buying a Switch 2 and this ROG Ally.
I do, because if you think about the general gamer, we have the whole thing of like, oh, you have a PlayStation or an Xbox, but then your
Hmm.
second console is usually a Switch.
I
So
guess.
there could be a thing where it's just like, okay, well, I have my dedicated console and then I have my
Can the
handheld
ROG
being.
Ally dock to a TV? Let me see.
That's a good question. I don't have it, so I don't know. But that's a great question. And while you are looking up that, there's more
Yeah,
Xbox
it can.
news. It can. Oh.
Yeah, you just need a special cable, a USB-C to HDMI dock or an adapter.
So that is
So then,
interesting.
can you connect a? Yeah, you can. You could connect the Bluetooth controller to the ROG Ally,
Yeah. So that could
and you could
technically just
connect
be
a
your Xbox.
mouse and Bluetooth keyboard. Yeah. Okay. 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 Okay.
So
I
this
mean,
is a handheld PC essentially.
yeah, it's a little bit more involved than just having a ready-made dock like Nintendo has. But then
Yeah.
Nintendo also comes with the dock. You have to buy a cable for that.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Well, we'll see. We'll see how Xbox handles all of this and if they keep true to the translated prices to the
Hmm.
dollar or they, you know, eat the cost a bit to keep it
Oh,
competitive.
they have a special dock that's about $30 that has USB-C and HDMI and USB. Okay. Oh, it is
Wow.
made for the ROG Ally. Okay.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool. That's
Specifically made
$30.
by them. Yeah, $30. That's not terrible, but
Yeah.
Switch comes with it already. Granted, whole different class of games. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah. But yeah, speaking of Xbox, more Xbox news that sort of kind of a rumor, but if this holds true and get ready to spend more money with the Xbox, Xbox Game Pass could be getting another price increase soon. This also comes
Hmm.
to us from Inside of Gaming by way of Tom Henderson. So this is real quick. There was a string of code that was spotted by a ex formerly Twitter user Red FX who noticed that a new notification string was added called subscription price increase.
Hmm.
Um, okay, so a new notification called subscription price increase has been added. Oh, wait, why is this repeating? Okay, whatever. The new string leaves nothing to the imagination, as it essentially means that Xbox could be gearing up for another price increase in the very near future. Game Pass last saw its price increase as much as 25% in July of 2024, which was last year. And with game prices now on the rise, it isn't difficult to see that Game Pass will also increase too. Um, I wanted to. They didn't mention who this Red X person is, but this user does. They have they've built out a program
Yep.
that like tracks the Xbox Game Pass or does something that's closely tied with Xbox, and that's how they were able to see this additional code
They're
that was
tracking
entered
changes
into it.
in the website basically. So they're just
There we go.
parsing the JavaScript or whatever the hell it's built with.
Yeah. So
And they
that's
probably have
how
something to
they
just
caught
notify
this.
them in in case there's any changes.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, if you think about it, a price increase makes sense, especially with them Xbox saying like, okay, well, all of our first party games will cost $80. It seems that they are just looking to raise prices across
Mm-hmm.
the board. So Game Pass will also be affected by that. In terms of what that increase will be, tough to say, right? Right now, Game Pass Core is $10, Standard is $15, and Ultimate is $20. It's possible that they just will push Ultimate at 25, or
Mm-hmm.
they will do another change where they because isn't Standard like PC?
So they have PC, console, and then both. So PC has a standard for $11.99, $12. Let's call it $12.
Okay,
$12 for PC, and then they got the ultimate PC for $20. Console is $10, and then you got your standard. They got the core and then standard, like you said, 10,
right.
15,
Oh,
and
okay. So
20.
PC is okay.
Yeah,
Like I can see them
but
combining.
only
Well, I
ultimate
would,
gets day one games.
yeah, I would imagine them doing something to combine Xbox Game Pass PC into one of these tiers, maybe the standard tier, and then Ultimate can also increase. But the new slogan of Play Anywhere, that is partially that is going to impact Game Pass in a way that for the handheld, it is only running Game Pass PC. So games going forward now, they have to support, they have to work on Game Pass and Game Pass PC so you can actually play your games anywhere. It's very confusing, but Xbox did this to themselves, so they have to figure this out. So whatever this price increase will be,
No, I
I
can see it
imagine,
having. It's probably just a hardware flag in the coding or something to where they can make it run on the ROG Ally of their own. Anything that's officially licensed.
yeah, yeah,
The
yeah,
Xbox is basically running modified Windows.
yeah. I know what I'm saying is that the marketing of this, the explanation of this is confusing, and they're gonna have to, like, whenever they come out with this price increase or whatever, or
Yeah.
however they change the stuff up, they're gonna have to explain it. But the explanation should be a lot simpler versus what the current model is now. But yeah, that's that. Um, Things are going to be changing by this fall, I would assume,
Yeah.
especially if this handheld releases in October. But yeah, that is number one. Number two, for PlayStation 6, Sony is betting on hardware power, not the cloud. This comes to us from GameSpot by way of Darren Bontuis.
Sure.
I tried. Okay. Sony's PS5 console. No, I'm not gonna read all that. Okay. During a business presentation hosted by several top Sony executives, President and CEO Hideki Nishino responded to a query about future PlayStation hardware and if a next gen PS6 console was even necessary when cloud gaming
Of
has
course it is.
improved over the years. Exactly, right?
I've been saying this since I joined the cast, since Jordan and maybe it was you arguing about cloud and
No,
street
it wasn't
game
me.
stream.
It wasn't me. It wasn't
I
me.
really feel like it was you and Jordan.
No, because my whole argument was that I think it might have been Cameron, because my whole argument was that cloud doesn't work in Middle America, and you can't just rely on the coastal
Then
internet
yes, it was
connections.
you and Jordan. That's what y'all were arguing when I first joined the cast years ago.
So wait, what was your argument?
I was on your side of the argument that we could, broadband speeds and reliability just aren't there across the
Oh,
U.S.
okay, okay, right,
And
yes, yes,
that's
yes,
just not a
yes,
good look at Stadia.
yes.
They were cloud only. Who else?
I mean,
What did
xCloud
Sony?
right now is
What did Sony buy?
Genkai,
There you go. Yeah,
Gaikai,
yeah, something like that. Gaikai.
yeah, Gaikai,
Yeah,
yeah.
it ain't there yet, and it
No,
won't be there
it's
for a
not.
while.
I agree. I think the issue is that America is just like specifically for America, it is too big to have that kind of
Hmm.
coverage to have like quality experience across America.
Yeah.
Um, where was I? Yes.
Uh,
Yeah.
Second paragraph.
Yeah. Okay. So according to Nishino, while cloud gaming is progressing well from a technical standpoint, certain challenging aspects like end-to-end network stability remain out of Sony's control. Nishino added that cloud-based gaming or gameplay is still a viable option for gamers and allows them to access more content, but the local execution of games via physical media or content downloaded directly to the console hardware remains in high demand by the majority of PlayStation gamers. Yeah. This is a quote. Cloud gaming is increasingly providing an additional option for players to access content, but our belief is that the majority of players continue to want to play and experience gaming through local execution without dependency on network conditions. Breath. Nishino said. What do you say?
I was gonna say you don't want to build your technology contingent on something else working, somebody else's technology working. That's just bad
Yeah,
business. You can't control all aspects of it.
yeah. Like you can't build this whole infrastructure and it fails because the player's sister is upstairs scrolling through Instagram.
We still have internet outages every once in a while. I can't use your I
I
can't
can't
use
play
your
my single
product.
player game.
Yeah, like what kind of
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. There's another quote. PS5 and PS5 Pro has validated this thesis. Jeez, my tongue. I believe Nishino said. On the topic of next gen PlayStation console, Nishino remained tight lipped. Our console business has evolved into a multifaceted platform, and we now have a large ecosystem of highly engaged players across both the PS5 and PS4 generations. So naturally, there's a huge interest in our next generation console strategy, Nishino said. While we cannot share further details at this stage, the future of the platform is top of mind. We are committed to exploring a new and enhanced way for players to engage with our content and services via a box you have in your living room.
hmm
Um, yeah, this that nah, that's not that's not really doing anything. Okay, yeah, so this information is and the next couple of story no, this information is coming from like a presentation that they had, a business presentation.
yeah.
The actual PDF, it's like 41 pages long. I kind of went through some of it. It just details like where PlayStation is at in terms of their monthly active users, their MAU, like what it's looking like through the console base versus PlayStation Network versus the accessories and so on and so forth. It just breaks all that stuff down, which I thought was cool, but I don't think there's not too much we can pull from that. That's like, oh, this is new information. It's just kind of their history. Like the PS5 is doing incredibly well, but that's known based off of just its competition and how it cemented itself. In terms of the PS6, the thing what I'm interested about the PS6 is
hmm
I feel like we are at the point where I think at the start of this, the question was posed like, is the PS6 even necessary? And I think that is a interesting question because I look at the PS5 and I'm like,
I
you
mean,
kind of got
I see them getting a good 10 years out of it, so we got a good another
because the
three.
rumors is that we're supposed to get next gen 2028.
That's reasonable. I mean, that's like saying do we need new graphics cards every other year? Like,
You know what? You're right. You're right. You're right. And Nvidia's like, yes, you do. Buy this, please. You are totally right about that. Yeah, and I think the one thing that we can point to, I don't have the Pro, so I don't know what the Pro
yeah,
life is, but at least with the PS5, you still technically have to pick between performance or fidelity, and that was supposed to be solved with the PS5, but it wasn't because games continue to get bigger and
the
bigger and
issue
more
is because they
expensive.
have so much headroom, nobody bothers optimizing shit anymore. So
Yeah,
all these potential resources just go to waste because nobody's compressing anything, nobody's working any type of limitations.
right.
They're not learning to be efficient with anything. So we should have had 60 frames, 4K plus whatever on the
Yeah,
base PS5, but it is what it is.
yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. And then there's also the whole idea of like, okay, well, if the PS5 Pro was $700, was it 700?
Yeah,
Okay. What is the PS6 gonna be? Is the PS6 gonna be 750? No, no. I think whatever the PS6 is, it's probably gonna be between 550. I don't think
let's see
I think
between
they're
5 and
smart.
650.
You think 650?
Mm-hmm.
Oof, that's PS3 territory right there. Oof.
I'm looking for I'm looking ahead towards inflation and all that good stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, they can inflate as long as they inflate my wallet before I have to drop money. I'm fine. Okay. Um. The part A to this is that Sony says it will continue to adjust PS Plus pricing as more people chooses higher tiers. This comes to us from VGC by way of Chris Scullion. So this is interesting. Again, this is a business presentation, so they are talking to their peers and shareholders. Uh, but yes, in that business meeting, segment meeting, Sony noted that in financial years 2022, 2023, and 2024, the percentage of PS Plus subscribers on higher tiers has continued to grow. Subscribers are increasingly choosing our premium and extra tiers, which now represent approximately 38% of total subscribers, SIE president and CEO Hideki Nishino said during the presentation. This was supported with a chart showing that while 17% of PS Plus subscribers were on premium tiers and 13% were on extra tiers in financial year 2022, that has increased to 22% and 16% respectively by 2024. I think the reason for this is that they decided to actually look at those tiers and made those
hmm
tiers more valuable. So people realize like, oh yeah, okay, I want those games. Like, and then with the premium tier, you get what the game trials, you get the streaming, right?
Yep.
And then the latest thing was having streaming on your portal, or I'm sorry, PS Now on your portal.
Whatever the hell it is, you can stream
Yeah,
games on your portal
yeah.
now.
Yes. So it's like that makes sense as to why people would start investing in the higher tiers if those features are valuable, which they seem to be. Um yeah, there's not too much other than the fact that people are paying more money for these higher tiers. Uh the next thing is an interesting thing about Marathon. Sony admits Marathon feedback has been varied, but insists it will avoid repeating Concord mistakes and commits to launching by the end of March 2026. This comes to us from IGN by way of Wesley Impel. The main thing about that is they stealthily delayed Marathon,
Yep.
which is necessary, that is needed, and that is a good move by PlayStation and Bungie. Um, yes, with the feedback being varied, interesting word there. Um, they decided that they cannot have Marathon be a flop, and they need to look at the feedback and see what they can do with this extra time to make Marathon a game that they believe people will want to try again, one, and will hopefully be successful. So that's where that game is, in case people are wondering, will it launch in September, even though everyone was just like, oh, this game is X, this game is Y, oh my gosh, this is not fun. No, it's not going to launch in September. But that's great. I think with it having some time away, that leaves the, I forget when the release date
Arc,
for Arc Raiders, October,
October.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Um, so yeah, that's that. Do you got anything to say on this?
I hope they get it right. I hope they get it.
Yeah.
It was promising. It was interesting when I first played it. I think we both had the readability issues or complaints,
Hmm.
and then I played Arc Raiders, and it just felt more solid.
Yeah.
They both felt ready to release, but Arc Raiders just felt more complete, and it may have to do with how are they
I
designed.
would say Arc Raiders felt more ready to release than Marathon.
Yeah, I think just the feel of it came down to like how they were initially conceived and the things they added into it after the fact. I think Arc Raiders was environment first, and then they added PvP in there.
Yeah.
And Marathon may have started with PvP first, and that may have contributed to why Arc Raiders just felt better to play to me.
Yeah.
If you weren't engaging with people.
Yeah. 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 I would say that like Arc Raiders was the environment, the sound design, like all that stuff was like top tier. It was a place you wanted to live in. And at least for me, my only hang up was when I had to do PvP in Arc Raiders. It's like, oh, I don't necessarily like the back and forth. Like it felt, that part felt like it needed more polish in terms of the strength of the weapons and how
Yeah.
health and all that stuff is handled. Whereas I felt like Marathon played better because Marathon is a first person shooter and it's
Hmm.
Bungie that is doing that combat, and Bungie has years and years and years and decades of experience doing first person shooter combat. But Marathon was very much so alpha beyond its combat. So it's a thing of like it definitely needed the polish, it needed work. And again, it's good that they're getting this delay to put in that work to, as Sean says, hopefully be successful. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
With that being said, let us have you like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. Please. Without your support, we can't talk about Donkey Kong Bonanza Nintendo Direct happening
Yeah.
this week. So do it. I'm watching you. Thank you. Also, before we talk about Donkey Kong, for you listeners, I ain't forget about you. Subscribe to the podcast / leave a review. Thank you. All right. Number 3, Donkey Kong Bonanza Direct announced by Nintendo. This comes to us from Insider Gaming by way of Josh Charles. That's a cool last name. So yeah, we're going to get the Donkey Kong Direct happening this week, Thursday, I believe. I can't see the actual graphic now. Give me 1 second. Let me switch over to see the graphic here, as it is not loading. When is this direct? This direct's happening this week. Insider Gaming, you have kind of failed me on this. Wow. Okay. Well, it's happening. It's going to be roughly 15 minutes. It was not announced on Twitter. It was not announced on Blue Sky. It was not even announced on YouTube. It was announced on Nintendo Today's app.
AKA Knitter.
Right?
Be careful how you say that.
Only certain select people can say that. Okay, so yeah, I think Donkey Kong Bonanza is coming out July 17th. What's your hype level for this game, Sean?
Out of 10, I probably give it like an 8. It looked interesting.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I am interested in the game. I don't know. I think right now there's not really any way for me not to get it, just because there's also just a dearth of
Exclusives to actually play on it.
Yeah. And like I feel like I am down to try a Donkey Kong game. I don't remember the last Donkey Kong game I actually played. It wasn't any of the recent ones.
I think I played Freeze something.
Tropical Freeze.
There you go.
You know what? I think we bought that.
I feel like you did too.
Hey guys, check it out. I'm a Nintendo super fan right here.
Let me borrow that from you.
Oh man. But yeah, I think it looks cool. The idea of Donkey Kong just destroying everything sounds cool. Apparently they have accounted for people destroying too much of the environment and like blocking progress, so you can like undo your destruction or whatever. Which
interesting.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I want to be blown away by this game. I feel like when I first saw it, I was like, oh, that's cool. But it wasn't like, oh, that's like really cool. So hopefully this direct will do that for me and the other people who, feel the same way that I did. As I said before, I wanted to throw in the Nintendo Switch 2 launch records that has been broken. It is currently beating the PS4 launch. This comes to us from VGC by way of Jordan Miller. I just wanted to get a number. It's like what, 3.5 million units, right? I think it's
for the Switch, yeah,
Switch
roughly
2,
about that.
Yeah. Okay.
By now, I'm sure it's like 4 million because other places have continued restocking.
Yes. And then on top of that, in the US, almost 80% of players who purchased the Nintendo Switch 2 also purchased Mario Kart World, either as a standalone physical game, why would you do that, or as part of the hardware bundle, which include the game as a pack-in title. So, according to Sarkana, the 3 best-selling physical games during the Switch 2 launch week were Mario Kart World, Cyberpunk 2077, and The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. Makes sense.
I think Welcome Tour was like number 7, which is crazy that anybody's
That
even
is
buying
crazy.
that.
Well, I guess if you don't have anything to buy, right, you're just like, I guess I'll try this Welcome Tour thing.
Send me the money. Send Press X the money.
Right.
We'll give you a tour.
Yeah, right. We can put something together real easy. But do we want to? Can we? Do we? I was like, I wonder if we could just talk about the Switch 2 in our impression. Well, we'll talk about the Switch 2
We'll
in
wait
our
till we
impressions
get to what we've been playing.
No, we're gonna do it now because so we don't have
Did
to
you
go back,
freeze?
and I can edit the thing because
some
of the stuff is So yeah, we both have the Switch 2. Sean has played it probably 3 or 4 times more than I have.
Yeah.
So Sean, what has been your impressions with the Switch 2?
I have not fiddled with the mouse mode. I mean, it's a Switch One but bigger.
Hmm.
The screen size is impressive once you put it next to the original Switch. It feels more premium.
Yeah,
The kickstand is all metal, and it feels more solid.
it
The
feels like a Switch
magnetic,
Pro.
yeah, the magnetic Joy-Cons are a welcome addition because
Absolutely.
with the Switch One, my wife had actually stuck the Joy-Con on upside down, and it was stuck until I forced it off.
Oh man.
And ever since then, it would just never quite grip the Joy-Con the same again.
Wow. Wow.
So, yeah, the magnetic stuff is a welcome addition. Um, I see people saying they love the music. I haven't really paid attention to the music all that much. I don't sit in the menus like that, so
Yeah.
and I'm buying strictly exclusives for it. I'm not getting my third
Hmm.
party titles for this. So Mario stuff, Bayonetta, Puyo. I started playing some demos on there as well though, just to get a feel for different things.
Okay.
I think I want Metroid Dread now. I don't know. I might have to.
Dread. What about Prime? You think you can get Prime?
I played the
Like a Prime
original
4?
Prime on
Hmm.
GameCube, and I was confused because I didn't know what I was doing back then. That wasn't my style of game, I think.
I see. Yeah.
I may go back and try it.
Okay.
But I do remember getting kind of far in the original. I just didn't quite know what I was doing.
Yeah. My my only hang up with Metroid Prime, because that was the one that I played, was I thought the controls were just awful. And
Was this
that's
before
just
you were playing first person shooters like in earnest?
no, no. Because when did that come out? I think I was
GameCube.
yeah, I
So
I played
all
Halo. I
first
played Halo.
most first person shooters were trash back then. Up until they started using the dual stick kind of movement and camera shit.
Yeah, Halo
And
was out before that.
I'm quite sure they redid the controls if they remastered Metroid Prime.
Yeah. It was 2002. Hmm. Hmm. Am I misremembering?
Maybe.
Halo release date was 2001. Okay, yeah, no, I played Halo before that, yeah. Yeah. So it was a thing of I didn't give it a chance to
Hmm.
I didn't give myself a chance to learn the controls to like get accustomed to it. It's just like, oh, I don't like how this plays. This doesn't feel good. But I think, now with so much time elapsed, like and from what I've heard, it seems that like it plays really well based off of
Yep.
the previews.
Metroid Prime Remastered released 2023, and they had an updated control scheme, including an option for dual stick controls.
Oh, good, good, good. Yeah. So yeah, I it, I think the Switch 2 feels very much so like a Switch Pro,
Hmm.
even to the point that the UI is like the same. And it's one of those things where it's like, all right, well, PlayStation does it, so I can't necessarily be like, oh, this doesn't feel good. But I think the weird thing is that PlayStation does a Pro and then it does the next gen thing. So it is like the Pro borrows the same UI from whatever the previous version is, but then the next gen thing, usually it's a step forward. They change the UI, they do more features or something to make it different.
Yeah.
Whereas the Switch 2, I haven't found that. I've been playing Mario Kart World. I played Smash Brothers on it. Smash Brothers didn't feel much different. Mario Kart World, it's a good game. I'm not a Mario Kart person, so it was a thing of I played with my wife a couple of rounds, did a Grand Prix or whatever, and then I played with London. We did like the open world part, just like drive around. I chased her, she chased me. That part
Hmm.
was fun. It was like a thing that we can do together. That's great. That's why I have the Nintendo console. It's literally for our family. Um, but in terms of games that I'm excited for, it's like, all right, well, there's Pokemon down the line. I wanted to try Scarlet and Violet on it. I haven't done that yet, so I'll give an update on that because that was one of the games of last year that I enjoyed, even though it took a piece of me because that game did not run well and it did not look good, but I still had
Yeah,
fun there. So yeah, it I am happy with the console, but I'm not like ecstatic,
yeah.
and I probably won't
Why
be ecstatic.
is it?
Hmm?
Is it just because you only have one game for now?
Yeah, I feel like the launch lineup is abysmal, for lack of better words. I think,
And to that, I posit to you, sir. People bought Xboxes just for Halo. They had one game to play and they were happy with it.
yeah, but Halo is Halo.
Mario Kart is Mario Kart. There's people who've been playing 8 and 8 Deluxe since it has come out and have been playing it
Yeah,
this
I
entire
know,
time.
but like, who talks to those people? You know?
They have
No, but I get
platform.
what you're saying though. I get it. It is a thing of like it is your taste. Like if you love Mario Kart, then this is
Yeah.
a immaculate launch because you get that game that you love. But to me, it feels like if I didn't play Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, if I didn't play Tears of the Kingdom,
Hmm.
and I got the Switch 2, it would have been Mario Kart World plus Pokemon plus Tears of the Kingdom. That would have been like an amazing time. But like I played those games on the Switch, so it is a thing of like, well, I guess I could jump back into those games and kind of play it. But that doesn't feel too good. So it's like, all right, well, I guess I will wait for Donkey Kong to see what that's like, and then wait for Pokemon because Pokemon, I know for a fact, I'm gonna enjoy that game at for some level. I'll enjoy that game. But yeah, I think it is a thing of not that many games launched for the Switch 2, and I'm not buying Welcome Tour. No, I'm not. I'm not doing that. No, thank you.
Hmm.
But yeah, it did incredibly well for launching at 400/500, and it will probably keep going, especially with how Nintendo staggers their exclusives. Um,
So I read something the other day that's kind of talked to the release cadence of their what the hell do you call it? It's not called a virtual console anymore. Nintendo Online.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
And basically, a lot of people were upset that they weren't just releasing everything all at once.
Yeah.
But now it made sense after reading that they're releasing these things during the droughts, basically. They're releasing
Yep.
nostalgic, big time games anytime they have a gap in their release schedule
Yeah.
to kind of keep you busy.
Yeah. They're actually smart about how they release their games. And
Hmm.
it's just like, why don't everybody else do that? I mean, of course, they can't do
I
it because they don't
mean,
got the money.
they're giving you time to play it. If they released everything all at once, it'd be too much to play. You wouldn't finish anything. You'd play it for 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there. Forget about it.
Exactly. And like I think one of the like long going rumors is that
Mhm.
they have a Fire Emblem like remake or remaster or whatever that has
Waiting to
been
drop.
done and yeah, it just been shelved because they're
Mm.
just waiting for a time to release it. And it's just like that is insane. But yeah,
Hey man,
you know,
there are people who are much smarter than us, counting the beans, and they're
yeah.
on top of these things. They have the numbers. We don't. They know what they're doing.
Hmm. Nintendo do what we don't.
Don't.
I don't know. Number 4, Mind's Eye Studio heartbroken over buggy launch as PlayStation issues refunds. This comes to us from VGC. You know what? I'm not even gonna get into that too much because if you have seen anything on Mind's Eye, you know that that game is gonna sit right next to Cyberpunk as one of the
Yep.
worst launching games. But Cyberpunk had
Wasn't this
a
buggy and broken? It at least
yeah.
ran.
Well, It was pretty broken. But
What I'm
Cyberpunk
saying is
had
like it still
Cyberpunk
ran
had a
if you had proper
team.
if you had proper hardware.
Yeah, well, yeah,
It just
exactly,
wasn't
exactly.
playable
Yes,
on
yes,
current last gen hardware when it came out. But I mean, it
exactly.
ran on the PS5 Pro, it ran on the
Yeah,
Stadia,
you're right.
and PC bills ran. Mind's Eye is just
Mind's Eye only works in your mind's eye. Yeah, so right now it is sitting at a 34 on Open Critic. I don't know what it is on
mhm.
Metacritic, but it's probably not any better.
I don't think we need to know.
No, no. It, the game, the game. I'm not gonna call it a bait and switch because
Mhm.
the developers did work on this thing and they did try their best, but it
Did they test
seems
it?
that
They tested it
what
one time.
tough to say, really tough to say.
Hmm.
But it does seem like they just bit off more they can chew, more than they can chew. And it was the thing of, when we first saw Mine as I, we saw, well, it was part of Everywhere, which is supposed to
Yeah,
be the like new Fortnite, like
engine
user
build anything.
generated,
Yeah, yeah.
right? And
I
then they
think
kind
this
of,
highlights the importance of testers.
I think you're right. I think you're right. Yeah,
They really feel like they're probably useless, and they were shown
turns
wrong.
out you need them. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the other thing about this is that Mind's Eye is sort of gone, but it's not gone. Basically, the way Mind's Eye works is if you buy the PC version, you
Hmm.
get a stage editor with it, so you can make stages. If you get the console version, there's no stage editor; it's just the game. And then both both games can play the levels created from the from the level editor, but not
Hmm.
right now. In the future, if it lasts that long, it's
Yeah.
weird. Um, Speaking of weird, number 5, composer says Kojima changed Death Stranding 2 because it wasn't polarizing enough.
Ain't this some shit?
This comes from VGC by way of Jordan Midler. There's a quote that I just want to read. So the composer was Woodkid. Woodkid is working on the music or some of the
Yeah.
tracks for Death Stranding 2. Is a quote from him. There was a key moment where we had a discussion, probably halfway through, when we were doing the game. There, he came to me and he said, he, as in Kojima, said, "We have a problem." he, he said, "I'm going to be very honest. We have been testing the game with players, and the results are too good. They like it too much. That means something is wrong. We have to change something." And he changed stuff in the script and the way some crucial stuff happens in the game because he thought his work was not polarizing and not triggering enough emotions. Uh, he continues to say, if everyone, he isn't Kojima, if everyone likes it, it means it's mainstream. It means it's conventional. It means it's already pre-digested for people to like it. And I don't want that. I want people to end up liking things they didn't like when they first encountered it, like your first time eating ribs or something, because that's where you really end up loving something. And that was really a lesson for me. Not doing stuff to please people, but to make them shift a little bit and move them. All right. Okay. Just make a good game, Kojima. Like, come on, dude.
I get it.
Oh, man.
I get it.
Oh, man. Oh, man. Okay. I'm definitely buying this game, man. Like,
As I sniped a guard from a watchtower, equipped a silenced rifle, and planned a sneaky infiltration into an enemy base to extract a prisoner, it was impossible to escape the thought, oh wow, this really feels like Metal Gear. Why don't you finish Death Stranding and then go make another Metal Gear? Like,
I mean, I actually think that's what Fizzant is gonna be. It's gonna be like spiritual successor to Metal Gear.
yeah.
I think he actually said something that it was going to be a spiritual successor. So I'm not even like making that up. But yeah,
Sure, man.
cool. It's Kojima. He's always doing something weird, but his weird works. So props to him. Okay. I'm going to cut some stuff because Summer Game Fest was really popular. It did more than not normal. It did a lot of views. It had like 50 million streams. That was story number 6. And then let's jump to the quick hits real quick. Number 6. Gears of War Reloaded Physical Edition for the PS5 is only $40. So in case you're getting it for physical, it's only $40. Cool.
You gonna get Gears of War?
No, not at all.
Did you play it back in the day?
I did. I didn't. I thought it was fine, but I played it like after the. Like I played Gears of War 1 when Gears of War 2 was out, kind of thing.
Gotcha.
So it was just like, that's cool. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna like get into like, the controls or whatever. It's an old game now, and people.
I mean, I'm sure they've updated controls a little bit. I want to say I played through whichever one. I don't know if you could play the first one co-op throughout the story.
I don't even know. Yeah.
Whichever one was the first one you could play co-op through the story, I played that one.
Okay. What I was gonna say about the whole control thing is that like I understand people love the controls. I just didn't love the controls, and it's like I can't necessarily argue that because I love Gundam Battle Operations 2, and those controls are like a brick wall. So it's like I get it. It just wasn't for me at the time. But I'm not. If it comes to PS Plus kind of thing, like I'll try it out, but I'm not gonna like buy it. There's other games that I want to invest in.
Yeah. I mean, I have a bunch of other stuff I want to play, but I'm interested. I would play it.
Yeah. Number 7, Stellar Blade, only released on PC yesterday at the time of this article, but it's already one of Sony's biggest Steam launches ever. Just comes from IGN. I wonder why. I wonder.
I can give you 2 big reasons.
I think I know those big reasons. Yeah, props to the team. Yeah. I don't think there's gonna be a world where I go back to Stellar Blade. I think if I
you didn't finish it, did you?
No, if I never played Black Myth, I'd be like, okay, yeah, I tried Stellar Blade, but like in terms of character action, it's like Black Myth. There's no reason for me to even try Stellar Blade because that hole is filled by that monkey and not the robot lady with the 2 big reasons. I guess 4 big reasons.
Gotcha.
Anyways, number 8. Borderlands 4 price has been confirmed. This comes from Insider Gaming, and it is $70.
Egg on his face.
It is not $80. It is $70. That's it. That's all that is. So that will probably be fine. On top of it. Oh, they still the release date is moved up a week or whatever. Yeah, that's fine. That's a good choice by Gearbox to make sure their game sells to a wider audience. Anyways, that's cool. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Do you have any games you want to talk about in terms of what you've been playing?
Nah, I got nothing. Yeah.
I'm still playing Clear Obscure Expedition 33. I am working my way through that. But yeah, that's it. All right. Well, that has been another episode of Press X to Start Gamers Digest. We hope you enjoyed us talking about all this stuff, being the Xbox, Asus, ROG, Ally, Xbox, Ally X, Ally, the PlayStation 6 from the perspective of Sony, Donkey Kong Bonanza coming to you soon, and everything else that we packed into this episode. Don't forget, you can like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. If you are listening, please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or whatever podcast service you're currently tuned in on. Yeah, Yeah, whatever you're tuning on, just leave us a review. We'd greatly appreciate it. Yeah, that's it. You just join our Discord, of course. It's at pressexpert2start.com/Discord. We're pretty cool. We don't accept jerks though. Jerk chicken, cool. Jerks, no. All right. You guys be safe. Take care. Peace.